Welcome to Hyderabad, India, home of the Ramadan feast. If you want to see a whole lot of exotically spiced meat-based meals, then you've come to the right place. So I was trotting and plotting around downtown Hyderabad, India, feeling those positive Ramadan Kareem vibes. Now, Hyderabad has a whole lot of Muslim culture and cuisine, and seeing as how right about now it's Ramadan season, I was getting pretty excited to have myself a genuine Ramadan feast. What can I say? I like to get myself deep inside the local culture like that. So I boosted on over to a famous restaurant called Hotel Shadab and ordered myself some SWADISHT local delicacies. And after I ordered up that chow, the maestro in the place started dishing it onto my plate. Granted, I'm completely capable of doing it myself, but the fact that he was doing it for me almost brought a tear to my eye. It seemed to me like that maestro had my best interests at heart, and if that doesn't tug at your heartstrings, then I don't know what will. Anyway, as you can see, we got us some serious Muslim foods on deck, and I'm getting pretty excited to have myself an authentic Ramadan feast. Granted, I haven't fasted like the Muslims do, nor have I waited until dusk to start eating, but other than that, it's most definitely an authentic Ramadan feast, just trust me on that. Anyway, I was still waiting for some more of my food to come out, so while I was waiting, I figured I might as well start digging into that Paratha. Now, I've seen Indians rip these things with one hand many a times, but somehow, some way, I was having a pretty hard time doing it myself. I had to stop filming for a nanosecond to rip it off with two hands. I don't know how the Indians do it. I'm thinking they probably take a class on it in grade school, but I don't know exactly. Anyway, first up I started digging into this mutton Rogan Josh. I spooned up a huge-ass chunk of mutton, put it on top of that paratha, and even put some more gravy on top. Now this next step might come as some surprise, but I actually started to wrap that Rogan Josh in the paratha. And wow, just wow, take a look at that bad boy. I'm thinking now is a good time for me to shove this meat-based morsel toward the general direction of my head. And oh my char-minar, that was some spicy to the max, aromatic as hell Rogan Josh right there. It tasted like some kind of crazy-ass cardamom and cinnamon-infused, spiced up beyond belief tomato curry action. So what else we got here? We got us some green masala Pakistani-style chicken. Seems to me like I'd best be putting a chunk of that chicken on top of the paratha with a little extra gravy as well. So after I poured out that gravy and wrapped up that mofo, I thought it was looking pretty decent and I decided to take myself a bite. And as soon as I shoved that food down my esophagus, I was simply amazed. I mean, is this Pakistani-style chicken for real over here? Wow! This may just be the most calorically dense food I've had in India so far. And come to think of it, my heart is palpitating a million miles a second just tasting it. I mean, not only is that chicken tender as hell, but that yogurt and heavy cream-based gravy seems to be infused with some cardamom, cilantro, and mint flavors. Suffice to say, I'm literally at a loss for words over here, people. Now around this time, the maestro brought out even more food for me, a little thing I like to call mutton biryani. This food is pretty famous in Hyderabad, real famous in fact, and I was getting pretty off-nar at the prospect of trying it out. Only problem was, I started to get that lingering feeling that maybe, just fucking maybe, I ordered up too much food for myself. I mean, some of those dishes are small, but that mutton biryani and that Pakistani chicken each are about the size of my head. I think I can probably eat about one head's worth of food in a single sitting, but 2 heads worth? That sounds pretty intense right there, but there's no sense in worrying about it, so I started to move on to that mutton biryani and took myself a taste. And my first thought when biting into it was it was tasting kinda dry. I think it's because I just moved on directly from that creamy as hell Rogan Josh and Pakistani chicken. But basically this biryani was so dry that I most definitely needed to add some gravies to the mix. So I started feverishly dishing some of that Pakistani chicken and Rogan Josh onto my plate. After all, these king-sized food quantities I got ain't gonna eat themselves. Basically, I need to man the fuck up and start eating these things. Oh wait, that phrase is a tad offensive. I think I meant to say I got a person up, but wait a second, there's something wrong with that too. Some people don't self-identify as human, so I think I meant to say I got a organism up. Oh, I'm organisming up over here, don't you worry about that, sweet cheeks. Anyway, phraseology aside, that Rogan Josh and biryani combo was simply amazing. That biryani itself had a spicy, salty, clove-infused flavor. Add to that Rogan Josh action, and I think it's safe to say I was feeling pretty excited, dare I say, borderline aroused. I'd rate this biryani on its own a 3, and the Rogan Josh on its own a 4, but together, I think I'd have to rate this Buck Wild biryani combo a 5 out of 5 Mahatma Gandhis. And next up I moved on to that Pakistani style chicken, and this time I saw some cashews in the mix. I'm thinking that maybe, just maybe, that cashew can enhance the flavor of my next bite, so I made sure to get that cashew loaded on deck. So I glanced at that chicken for a New Delhi nanosecond, then I shoved it down my throat, and holy shit. Wow, just fucking wow. I might just have to pack up my bags and go home, because I don't think I'm gonna top that one in India. That Indian-made Pakistani-style chicken awakened some serious animalistic urges deep inside my soul. Damn, just look at that greasy goodness. Each time I spoon it up, it's gleaming and glistening like 1,000 stars on a cloudless night. Each time I spoon it up, it's shimmering like ocean waves in the lonely twilight. It has a beautiful, almost romantic aesthetic to it. In other words, nice fucking subcontinental food item right there. I mean, man, that caloric density along with those exotic spices, mint and cilantro flavor, plus that subtle sweetness and that biryani which soaks up all the Pakistani chicken gravy, man oh fucking man is that good. My hunger levels got so animalistic that I actually took a bite out of one of those side onions. It was just that intense, baby. So with all that said, I think I'm gonna have to rate that Pakistani chicken and mutton biryani combo a rare, never-before-seen 6 out of 5 Mahatma Gandhis. I mean, that flavor combo was so incredible that it actually elevated my level of consciousness. It very well may have degraded my level of physical health, but it most definitely upgraded my level of mental and spiritual health. Now, there were 2 extra side dishes that came along with that biryani, and I started pouring them on top of that biryani, but that said, I was getting pretty full at this point in the meal, so I wasn't exactly sure if I could fully appreciate those side dishes. I think the stuff here is called Salan, but I'm not exactly sure. All I know is it's a Hyderabadi side dish of sorts. So in order to save some time, I just grabbed that bad boy and started pouring it on directly. We also got this white side dish, which could be some kind of digestive, but I don't know exactly. All I know is I put both of those side dishes on there together, then figured I might as well put some lime on top. What can I say? I like to line up some serious flavor combos when I'm eating. So after setting all that up, I took myself a bite and it was tasting pretty good, although the flavor was much less intense than the other gravies I had. I think that Salan is supposed to be a tangy tamarind sauce infused with peanuts, sesame, and coconut paste. Add to that white sauce, which kind of had a light yogurty flavor. And then of course there was that lime, which most definitely added a much needed citrus zest. So overall I tried to organism up the best I could, but I think I only made my way through about 80% of the meal. Still, I think that's a pretty noteworthy achievement. You know what they say, aim for the moon, and if you miss, you'll land among the Mahatmas. Anyway, that about does it for this Indian food tour, but if you want to see more, then feel fucking free to check out my previous video. It's a tour of the top 10 street foods in Kolkata, and I've got that link in the description box. And as always, thanks for watching this video. Why don't you leave a comment, let me know what you think.